Hello viewers, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to explain the function math problems. Function means normally the activities of our daily life, but there is a part of the math which is known as the function math. What do we mean by the function math? Function is normally defined as an expression which is including a variable and some integers. How can I write down the function? Simply, like as the function of x is equal to x plus 1. Here, x is a variable, 2 is the integer, and 1 is the integer. This 2x plus 1 is normally expression. This is expression. So, we can say that function of x is a expression of a variable and some integer. Normally, function can be include a lot of variable also, but in GCSE level or O level math, it is normally one of the variable. It was previously a level topics, but as the new pack of GCSE and O level syllabus, this is including of the GCSE and O level Cambridge also. So let's start it with the function question. We have to know that function normally denoted as, we can write down function of x, we can write down g of x, we can write down h of x also. Your question may become as h of x, that is also denoted as function of x. Maybe the examiner will ask you g of x, that is also a function of x, or f of x. We can say that f of x, g of x, h of x all is denoted as function of x. Let's start it with a simple question. If function will come for the non-calculator paper, it used to come as a simple question of 1 and 2 marks. But some of the times it may be critical question. Let's start it with the simple question. Think about that. Examiner is going to ask you if function of x is equal 5x plus 1. They given to you, and they will ask you find function of 1. Just this will may come for 1 mark question or 2 mark question. So how do you solve it? When we will solve it, we are going to write down function of x is equal with 5x plus 1. Let's start it with the basic one. We are trying to figure it out, function of 1. What is the similarity here? X is replaced by 1. So in this expression, we are going to replace all x by 1. Here is only 1x. I'm going to replace this x by 1. So 5 multiply with 1, add with 1. This one will be the same. Now 5 multiply with 1 is 5, and add with 1 is going to give it to me 6. That's the value of my function of 1. This should be my answer for 1 and 2 marker question. Now, if the examiner added with that 2 of the values like that, added with the question, and function of minus 3. So, what we will do? We will use the basic function. My basic function is function of x equal 5x plus 1. Now I'm trying to figure it out my function of minus 3. So I'll replace my x by minus 3. So 5 in bracket minus 3 plus 1. What we can get, 5 times minus 3 is going to give it to me minus 15. Add with 1. That means minus 14. That's supposed to be my answer. So function of minus 3 is equal minus 14. This can be an easy question of function of x. Now let's go a little bit complicated function. If the I'm writing down one more question. If the examiner is going to ask you if function of x is equal x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 3, find function of 0 and function of minus 2. That may be 3-mark question. How do I do that? When we start the question, we will copy what is our function of x. Our function of x was x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 3. We'll do step by step. If I try to find out function of 0, I'll replace all of the x by 0. So this x will be replaced by 0. So 0 to the power 3. 2 will be stay same. This x will be replaced by 0. 0 is square minus this x also replaced by 0 and 3 will be stay same. So 0 to the power 3 is 0. 2 multiply with 0 square. 0 square is a 0 and multiply with 2 is going to give me a 0. This is also minus 0 plus 3. The all term will be eliminated, so I'm going to get 3. So we can say that function of 0 is equal to 3. That should be my answer. If I'm trying to find out my function of minus 2, what I'll do? If I'll do function of minus 2, I will write down my function of x at first. So what was my function of x? It was x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 3. As the same way, all of x will be replaced by minus 2. So I can write down minus 2 to the power 3 plus 2 minus 2 to the power 2 minus in a bracket minus 2 plus 3. You can write the minus value or negative value in a bracket. That will be indicate are you trying to adding them or are you trying to times them. It is easy to solve the problem. What is minus 2 to the power 3? If I'm going to figure it out, minus 2 to the power 3, this is basically minus 2 multiply with minus 2 multiply with minus 2. If I multiply minus 2 and minus 2, minus minus is going to give me a plus and 2 to give me a 4. Minus 2 give me a 4 and here will be another minus 2. So plus 4 and minus 2 give me a minus because plus minus give me a minus. 4 times 2 is 8. So we can write down the value of minus 2 cube is my minus 8. Now 2 multiply with minus 2 square. We already did calculate with the minus 2 square, but for you I am trying to do again. So minus 2 square means minus 2 multiply with minus 2. That's going to give it to be minus minus is a plus. 2 times 2 is 4. Let's make the steps separate. So I can write down 2 multiply with plus 4 and minus minus give me a plus always. 2 minus is going to give me a plus. 2 plus 3. Now we can written down here is the minus 8. 2 multiply with plus 4 is give it to me 8. 2 times 4 is 8. I can add these two number and these 2 and 3 add up to 5. Minus 8 plus 8 is going to give it to me 0 because they will eliminate to each other. 0 add with 5 is going to give me a 5. So my final answer, function of minus 2 should be 5 for this question. if this will come, that will come for 2-marker question, 3-marker question, because they are asking for the 2 values. It will use to come for the 3-mark question. Now let's start with the proper question. So if I'm going to write down the question at first, then I am trying to solve it out. Think about that. They give you 2 functions. The functions f and g are such that function of x is equal 5x plus 2 and g of x is equal 2x square minus 1. The first part of the question is asking you find f of minus 3 and g of minus 5, and second part is asking you find the values of x for which function of x equal gx. This will normally come for the 4 or 5 marker question. Normally 4 mark or 5 mark question. Now let's start it with the first part, part A. This is actually similar of the previous thing what we did explain. So if I am going to find it out my function of minus 3, I should start it with my function of x. What is my function of x? This is 5x plus 2. So we can write down function of minus 3. So I'm going to replace x by minus 3. So x will be eliminated by minus 3, add with 2, 2 will be the same because I'm not doing anything with the 2. 5 times minus 3 is minus 15. Add with 2 is going to give it to me minus 13. That's my answer. So function of minus 3 is minus 13. This is my one part answer of A. Now let's figure it out my g of 5. So g of 5 will be started with the function of g. What is my g function? Gx is equal to 2x square minus 1. If I try to find out my g of minus 5, I have to replace x by minus 5. So 2, x will be replaced by minus 5, but the square will be stay same. Take away 1 will be stay same, and the coefficient of 2 also stays same. Now I need to know what is my minus 5 square value. What is my minus 5 square? Minus 5 square is minus 5 multiplied with minus 5. Minus minus is going to give me a plus, and 5 is 25. That should be value of minus 5 square. So I am going to write down 2 minus 5 square is my 25. They will be times together, and take away 1 will be remain same. 2 times 25 is 50. Minus 1 is equal 49. That is my g of minus 5. This is the full A part answer. Now when I will do the second part, let's use the other paper because there is no space. What the part is saying to me? Part B, find the value of x for which function of x equal gx. How do I do it? Let's start it with the question. Function of x equal g of x. What is my function of x? They already give it to me, 5x plus 2. Let's written down 5x plus 2. What was my gx? Gx was 2x square minus 1. Let's write down that one, 2x square minus 1. Now, I have to make the all of the thing to one side. Because this is the x square, let's take 5x and 2 to the other side. Let's make this part as a 0. So what I can do, my 2x square minus 1 will be same. If I take 5x to the other side, it is positive, it will convert as the negative. So it is negative 5x. If I take 2 to the other side, my this 2, positive 2 will be changed as the negative 2. So I can write down negative 2 there. So if you change the side, the sign will be changed. Plus 5x is converted as a minus 5x, plus 2 converted as a minus 2. So what did I get the expression? Let's write the 0 to the other side. So 2x square. Here is only one x, 2x square come from here. There is a minus 5x, and minus 2 minus 1 give it to me, minus 3, equate with 0. Now let's do the quadratic factorization. How do I do that? I need to times 2 and 3 together, 2 and minus 3. That's going to give it to me minus 6. I need to break down the minus 6 and make it minus 5 because I need minus 5. I need to make minus 5x as a 2 term. How do I do that? Minus 6 times by 1. So I can do that. Minus 6 times by plus 1 is going to give me minus 6. So I can write down minus 6 plus 1. That is going to give it to me minus 5x. So if I'm going to write down that, my 2x square will be remain same. My 3 will be, minus 3 will be remain same. The middle one, minus 5x will be splitted as a 2 part. One will be minus 6x, other will be plus 1x, equate with the 0. Okay, so I break it down minus 5x as a minus 6x plus 1x. I'm writing in one side minus 5x is equal with minus 6x plus 1x for your all understanding. So I can take common of the first 2 and I can take common of the last 2. What is common of the first 2? I can take it common, 2x. So I can get x here. I'm dividing 2x squared by 2x. So I'm going to get x. I'm dividing 6x by 2x. So I'm going to get minus 3. That is known as the common. Here is nothing is common. So I can take only one common. So that is going to give it to me x minus 3. So x minus 3 is common. So I can write down x minus 3. What is uncommon? I can write down in other bracket. This is my 2x. So other bracket, it will be 2x add with 1. Equal with 0. Now I got two factor. One is the x minus 3, other is the 2x plus 1. So I can write down each of the factor equate with 0. So I can write down x minus 3 equal to 0 and 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So I'm going to get 2x value. If I take 3 to the other side, it will be positive. So x equal plus 3. Here, if I take 1 to the other side, I'm going to get minus 1 because positive 1 will be converted as a negative 1. Now, I have to get rid of these 2. It is the times. If it will go to the other side, it will be divide. So it will be minus 1 over 2. That means the minus half. So the question, what was asking to me, find the value of x for which function of x equal gx. This is basically a solving because we are trying to get the x value. So my answer should be x value are plus 3 and minus half. This is my final answer of the second part. This is the proper question of function of x. If you have any concern or any queries, you can ask me about that. Thank you so much.